Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So it's the 2nd of February. So um usually I post some stuff in this month about Black history, and I wanted to kind of keep that going, but just because you know um I'm the time constraints. I got a lot going on this month, so I just figured I'd jump on live this time and just say some things about Black history in the religion of Islam. And so one of the things I wanted to talk a little bit about is the year of the elephant, because the year of the elephant is known for many things. One of the things that the year of the elephant is known for is that this was the year of the birth of our illustrious Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and this is the year in which the Mecca was there was an invasion by a man named Abraha, and Abraha was a Christian king from Africa. And he, being that he was Aksumite, he was a king of the Aksumite Empire, but meaning he was the descendant of the tribe of Judah. His official title, the title of Abraha, would have been King of Kings, Lord of Lords, Conquering Lion from the tribe of Judah. This would be what they would have referred to him as. And he was a zealous Christian. And so, he's kind of talked about in the Holy Quran, but not mentioned by name. He's also a historical figure. He's written about in African history books for many, many years. And he's seen as somebody who conquered Arabia, the Arabian Peninsula. And when he was there, he built a cathedral in Sana'a, and that cathedral is still around. And so he made the decision at one point that he would conquer Mecca and destroy the Kaaba, and that would make his cathedral that was dedicated to monotheism, like the place for people to worship. And so, we know from the Quran that his army was defeated. The elephant army was defeated by birds. But what we don't necessarily realize is that when that army was defeated, all of the remnants of that army was taken into Mecca and enslaved. And so that is why you see in the time of the Prophet, this happened at the birth of the Prophet, you see many, many Abyssinians, and they're enslaved in Mecca, because white supremacy has even conquered the minds of the Muslims. We don't never give these people a backstory. We just say, well, they was black, so they were slaves. In reality, they was actually conquering lions, descended from King David. And so, without that backstory, we're kind of missing a piece, because these people came in, they were Christians. And so, even in the Holy Quran, the Quraysh accused the Prophet of only being able to convert slaves. And why were these slaves ready to convert to Islam? Because they were Christians. And in Surah Al-Ma'idah, Allah says, you'll find it closest to you in love to be those who call themselves Christian. This is in Surah Al-Ma'idah. And Imam Sayyuti, rahimahullah, he said that this ayat is referring to the Abyssinians. And so many things happen with this influx of a 10,000 man army into Mecca, the remnants of that army. is that you had the development of a people who were known as hygiene. And the hygiene people were people who were of mixed lineage, meaning one of their parents was from Habesh and the other parent was Quraysh. And this was many, many people. And one of the people who I wanted to highlight today is a man named Nufel ibn Abdul Uzza. Nufel ibn Abdul Uzza. He was of mixed lineage. His mother was Habeshi. She was Abyssinian. And his father, Abdul Uzza, was from Quraysh. He was a pagan. And so Nufel was a very prominent Qurayshi, even though he was, we always hear Bilal was black. He was the only black Sahaba. Nufel was 50%. What we say Bilal was, Nufel was 50% of this. Yet, he was the one who mediated disputes for Quraysh. Anytime that the Quraysh had a dispute, they would seek out Nufel. And so Nufel, he was what we would say mixed. When he got married, he married an Abyssinian woman. So his wife was Habesh. He was half Habesh. His wife was 100% Habesh, meaning Nufel, his son, all of his kids, but we're particularly talking about his son, because his son was prominent in Quraysh history. His son would have been 75% Habesh. So, that's Habeshi, y'all. You 75%, man. You like Chadwick Boseman, Sidney Poitier black at that point. You know what I'm saying? And so his son was named Khattab. Khattab ibn Nufel ibn Abdul Uzza was 75% African. And he was a prominent figure amongst the Quraysh. So when we hear that, the Quraysh was so racist, they hated black people, they hated Bilal because he was black, how come they didn't hate Nufel? How come they didn't hate Khattab? And then on top of that, Khattab had a son named Umar. And Umar Ibn Khattab is the second most prominent Sahaba in the religion of Islam. The second, whenever we talk about black history, how many times you ever heard at the Masjid al-Khutbah in February, Black History, and instead of talking about Bilal, they talked about Umar Ibn Khattab, whose father was Sidney Poitier black, y'all. 75% African, y'all. Which means ain't no way Umar looked like Brad Pitt. No way. And there's no reference. There's a lot of references about his skin being dark. You know what I'm saying? They say he was dark because he drank olive oil. Instead of saying he was dark because his grandmother and his great-grandmother was from Africa. They don't say that. His father was, more African than anything else. And this is not even just to say, this is how it would be if the Arabs were like white people, which most Arabs were already what they would call Sumara. And so Sumara means brown. And because they were from the middle of the world, they were mixed. They had dark red and black Arabs, and most of them were brown. And so I just wanted to talk a little bit about Black History Month. I wanted my first post to talk a little bit about how African slavery was introduced into Mecca. Those people was conquering lions from the tribe of Judah. It wasn't a thing that, oh, they got to be slaves because they was black. That's what, that's our hang-ups that we put on the past. We'll say, okay, well, Salman al-Farisi was a slave because of this. But Bilal was just a slave because he was black, and that's not true. That's racism. When we think like that, that's racism, because we're not even implying, we're straight up stating that blackness is akin to slavery, and that's just not true. So may Allah bless everybody. I don't know how. I could talk about this kind of stuff every day of the month for the next 12 months because, that's just me, man. But I don't know how consistent I'm going to be. But if I jump on here, just, if you want to hear something about black folks and Islam and it not just be the same old stuff, because it's a lot more out there, man. And one book, it's a lot of books that I would say, but this Tanwir al-Ghabash, this is a book that was written about 800 years ago. The Virtues of the Blacks and the Abyssinians. That's a very important book. It's translated into English with the Arabic in there too. So if you want a resource, and whenever I come on here, I'll try to give some resources too. So people don't think, oh, Sundiata just talking, man. Aqulu Qawli Hadha wa astaghfirullahi li wa lakum. I don't know how to cut this thing off. This is one of my first times going live, y'all.